everybody. Welcome to Resilient Now podcast. So happy you are here today with us. We have a really incredible speaker. I'm so excited to hear her. She speaks around a lot. Alexandra, thank you for being here. Thank you for being on Resilient Now podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. I love just resilience. The word is I could resonate so much with that. So I was like, let's do this.
All right. I always ask all the speakers, what does resilient now mean to you right now?
When I look at my life, right, I think like resilience right now means that you kept going even though you felt that you could have given up. It's just the moving forward, the movement behind it of no matter where you came from, what happened to you, um, you're here today just because of that resilience you had in you. So it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to hear your story. So let me just tell everybody about what Resilient Now podcast is. If you're going through something or know somebody who's going through something, there's so many people who just got a call that their mom died or they got cancer. And the whole, things like that happen. The life is beautiful, but it also is very sad. And people can get really sad and very down and depressed. So we have Resilient Now podcast. It's a free website. I also have an Apple show. I have a YouTube channel. It's on Spotify, so you can hear these speakers on my website for free. And whenever you just need some encouragement and to just move forward, because these are people who have gone through what you're going through right now and they're on the other side. So hopefully that could help you. So that is the mission. I am the founder, and I'm so excited that Alexandra is here. So, I will let you start. So go on. I'm excited to hear your story. Thank you for being here.
Where do I start? We all have a story. Every time somebody says, tell your story, and it's even as a speaker and international speaker, you always kind of get to a place, especially when you have to speak about yourself. First, I'm international speaker, author of two books, The Power of Networking and Show Up Scared. And Show Up Scared is exactly what this podcast is. It's about being resilient. So I shared my story regarding everything I've gone through as a memoir of how I, kept showing up even when things didn't seem that they were going to be okay. And one thing that helped me was the fact that I was resilient, right? I had this faith in my heart of, you got to keep moving forward. So now I get to speak on stages and help women and men who are going through anything in their lives where I can give them almost that almost peace in a sense of like, even though you're going through something so hard, I promise you, this too shall pass. And when you go through it, you really grow so much. You it just strengthens something in you where you're just ready for things in life that you never thought you would be. So that's my story of how resilience showed up in my life. I'll start a little bit when I was 13 years old. I woke up one morning and my mom had a terrible seizure. And, back then in the 80s, going through anything like that wasn't very common. She had headaches for months and years, and they would keep telling her, take Tylenol. They weren't doing CAT scans or anything at that time until the seizure really hit. And then that's what triggered. Well, my mom ended up going to the hospital, never came back home. And being a young girl,
I'm sorry.
thank you. And just losing your mom she was in a hospital for 9 months. And I remember the day she passed away, I woke up that morning and I will never forget this. I had this urge to go see her. I'm Portuguese, Cape Verdean. Our families didn't really talk about things like that much. They were just very private, and I guess they didn't want to upset us as children. But I woke up with a sense of like, I need to go see mama. And I remember I grew up in Connecticut. I took the bus at 13, don't even know how I got on the bus, but I took the bus and went to Yale New Haven Hospital, walked in and was like, I'm here to see my mom, and gave her name, and they brought me up to intensive care. Well, she was laying there and her eyes was going back and forth. And my 13-year-old self really had so much hope. And the reality was my mom was a vegetable. She had two surgeries, brain surgeries, and unfortunately the second one was not successful. But I didn't know, but all I did see was my mom laying there with her eyes going back and forth. And I thought she was hearing or listening to me. Maybe she was. And I told her we miss her to come, come home. So when I left the hospital that day, I was so encouraged. I was like, she's going to come home. She looks okay. Well,
Mhm.
that evening she passed away. And again, um, I write this all in my memoir, I write this all in my book. It was sad. And coming from a culture of no like mental help or like therapy and all that wasn't like a thing in my culture, and a lot of the Latin and European cultures we just deal. So I remember my stepdad walking into my bedroom, and my sisters and I shared a room, turned on the light, and said, ladies, girls, get up. We're going to your grandma's house. Your mom passed away. I'm sorry. Walked out. And that's what I was left with. And
Wow.
yeah, I remember thinking, wow, okay. But that moment, I share that with you all, is because that's what changed my entire life. And there's always a moment that changes you. That moment taught me that when something bad happens, you just move on. That moment taught me no matter of your pain, you keep moving. Now, is that a good thing? No, because I suffered a lot. I suffered a lot because that moment shaped my reality and shaped who the woman I was going to become, where I was resilient and
Mhm.
moving and kept going and never really stopped to think about my emotions until I started having anxiety and panic attacks, which also was a very hard time for me. See, sometimes in life, when we're not dealing with the pain and the things that we go through, it shows up in our lives in different ways.
In other ways, yeah.
And that's how it showed up in my life. And it was very tough, going through having children and being a mother and not have healed from losing my own mom. It carried on for years and years and years. And I would tell you that it goes away. It doesn't. It doesn't. But I do believe that it is our responsibility to heal ourselves. And that's what I went into, a healing journey. And once I did that, I found peace. I found peace in my heart. I was no longer angry at my mom. And you're probably thinking, why would you be angry at your mom? Well, I was. I thought she was selfish for leaving us. Five
Mhm.
kids. Like I was angry because no one told me, like, you actually just died. But I was in my head, I'm like, how could you just leave?
You were 13, right? So,
13. So I
yeah.
felt it was abandoned, I was being abandoned. Like, and then I
Mhm.
had those abandoned issues of not trusting people and figure, oh, you'll just be here for a little while, you're going to leave anyway, kind of thing. So, yeah, resilience played a very big part in my entire life. I'm 51 years old today. Not my birthday today, but here at 51 years old, um, just the chapters of your life that you go through. Yeah, being resilient is important because this too shall pass. And I grew, and it's funny, I'll share this with you. My aunt, which is my mom's sister, just read my book, Show Up Scared. And
Mhm.
she reached out to me and she said, crying, like, I am so sorry. I didn't know you went through so much. And I said to her, I go, please don't cry and please don't be sorry. I go,
Mhm.
I went through exactly what I was supposed to go to. And I'm so grateful to God that I was able to go through that because I would not be a woman that I am today without have gone through so much, and having that resilience in me to keep going and that faith in me that I'm growing. We think sometimes when we're in dark times that it's something we can't get out, but sometimes those moments are preparation, right? They're preparation
Yeah.
for your next step in your life. So yeah, that's a little bit of a brief story about me.
So that's, yeah, that story, that was the pinnacle of you, changing and, just moving forward. So tell us about your life today. Tell us what you do and tell us, what your I always ask for the gratitude, so you can throw a gratitude in there.
Gratitude is huge. Grateful for my life today.
Mhm.
I found my power.
Mhm.
I married. I have a blended family. I had the honor of giving birth to three incredible boys.
Oh my God, that's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. They're
Three.
my world, my world. Married for going to be 20 years.
Oh my goodness. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
And I just love being a mom. And my son told me the other day, he goes, Mom, after reading your book, it's crazy. Like you didn't even know like how to love us as a mom because no one showed you really.
Mhm.
But you did such a great job. And it's funny when he said that, it just like shook me. I was like, I enjoy being a mom more than anything else. Maybe it's because the little Alexandra and me didn't have one, right? Didn't get to grow up with one.
Yeah.
So I'm a businesswoman. I own Alexandra Marketing and PR firm. I help businesses with all their digital marketing, social media, website, being able to tell their story and their brand, and push it out to their ideal clients. As I mentioned, two-time author, speaker. I get to go on stages and help pour into people and help them
Mhm.
become their best, regardless of where they're at, and really pretty much saying, hey, listen, I want to meet you where you're at, because sometimes people go and want to meet a different version of someone, and we also appear as a different version of ourselves because we're scared or we're afraid to be judged. I like to meet people where they're at because I think it's so beautiful, because where you're at and where you're going is just an important place in your life. And that's where real growth and transformation and breakthroughs really happen. So, what else about me? What else about me? I also,
No, this is amazing. You're a beautiful person inside and out. And this, I know this talk is going to help so many people. You are a badass, is what you are. So you have come through so far, 20-year marriage, kids, businesswoman, two books. Like, I'm so excited to have you on the podcast because I know you're going to touch so many people. Thank you for this time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing with us. Remember, everybody, stay resilient now. There's somebody who's gone through what you're going through right now. And it was such a privilege to have you on this show, Alexandra. Hopefully we'll meet again and maybe we'll do an interview. But thank you again. Everybody stay resilient now.
yes,
Bye.
thank you.